Welcome to the GTP. My name is Scott, where we talk all things manga, and in this video I'm excited to share with you my manga haul for the month of October of over 15 volumes. You heard me right, not 40, not 30. Phew, we're finally lowering how much manga we're getting each month, so I'm excited to share with you this manga haul, to share with you just what I picked up, what I read, and what I recommend for you. And what's neat with this, if you stick towards the end of the video, you see some even new series that I think you're going to want to check out, especially as we get towards the holiday season. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and start, as always, with new to me from Viz Media. And with Viz Media this time, the first thing I got was Shojin X Volume 7. This is from the same author who gave us Tokyo Ghoul. If you like Tokyo Ghoul, I think you're going to like this one as well. I will say it took me about 3, almost 4 volumes to get into it. I believe in like a 5-volume rule. By the 5th volume, I know whether or not it's for me. This has been very good. It's more on the spooky side, as you're following this guy who can turn into a Shojin, which is like, you know, half human, half vulture. He has some powers. Other people around have powers. It's almost like a creepy superheroes, like kind of like a My Hero Academia without the academia part, but just people who can turn into beasts or have different powers, and then they're fighting against each other. Very dark, very spooky. I don't want to give too much of the premise away, but I'd say, again, by a 4th volume, you're like, oh, now I see where it's headed. So good. Kind of like, I'd say more like the terrible TV show Heroes. First couple seasons good, then went downhill. But if you liked that, I think this gives somewhat of that same type of vibe through here with Shojin. Let's go ahead and check out the next item I picked up is Fool's Night. This is phenomenal. This is the 2nd volume. Now the first one already had me hooked. This 2nd volume here made me like, wow, this is in my top 10 of best series to come out this past year. This one really had me think about life and myself, and it wasn't the story I was expecting, as in this story there's no more sunlight, it's just total darkness. And because of that, for oxygen, they've created a way where if a plant could live in a human, that plant can go ahead and give oxygen to the world. But unfortunately, the plant takes a lot of life from the human, and eventually the human turns into a plant. So with that said, great artwork and paneling. You have this main character here who's slowly turning into a plant, and he's wondering, what should I do with this last 2 years of my life until I fully become a plant? Now he's working with another agency to help these past human plants. Very good, highly recommend checking out. What's next from Viz Media? Well, since you asked, it's Asomics After School Volume 7. We're halfway there. The series is complete in Japan with 14 volumes. Thoroughly enjoyed this series so far. This is a slice of life with these Asomics that struggle to sleep, and you slowly over time realize why each person can't sleep. And then there's a little bit of this romantic interest, and you wonder with these two characters, you know, are they going to fall in love or not? I think they probably are, but we'll see. Very, very good. Has to do with the Astro Club, just with space. Very, very good. A lot of photography passion here. So if you're looking for a slice of life rom-com, this is great. Highly recommend. What else did we get from Viz Media? Why, thank you for asking. We got Tokyo These Days Volume 3. This is now complete. Tokyo These Days. What can we say about this series? Well, it's from the same author that gave us Sunny. I really appreciate Viz giving us this hardcover treatment for this series. And I gotta say, this one is about a editor for manga who he ended up quitting his job as the company he worked for decided to get rid of the magazine he was working on. So now he's coming together to kind of like a passion project, create a magazine with all these other manga artists. Some of them aren't really doing manga anymore or were rejected by society, but this person is just so passionate in telling stories, and the right stories, and seeing the beauty in people that others haven't. So this is going to be more of a deep cut. If you love manga, if you're looking for something different, following a person who's passionate about it, and just seeing the beauty in life and the idea of what it means to be able to tell a story, this is really, really good. It made me think. Only 3 volumes total, so I think it's worth the investment. Again, this is going to be more of a deep cut. If you share with people, hey, I read Tokyo Days, they're like, oh, this is definitely under the radar. This is not the typical that you're going to see from a Viz lineup, but this was very, very good, very thinking. I thoroughly enjoyed the journey along the way of just making me think what matters, what's art, and just the purpose behind things and seeing value in people. The struggle with some people where it's like, well, I'm just making this series because I know it's going to be popular, even though that's not what I want to do. The stresses of constantly having to share a new comic week by week by week. Very, very good. Thoroughly enjoyed. Next, what I got is Midnight Children. This is volume 3. This is the story of Dracula. This is from the same mangaka that gave us Innocent and Climber. I love about this is Dracula looks like the ghost of Michael Jackson, and there's even a panel, instead of riding, you know, eight tiny reindeers across with a sleigh, instead it is a bunch of werewolves. So how about that? You're following these kids as they're trying to survive in this orphanage, as Dracula has possessed one of their friends. They're trying to save their friend. Very good, very interesting. Definitely not for kids. My biggest gripe is the MSRP of $27. It is hardcover, which is nice, but it just doesn't feel like it's worth $27. But the artwork's incredible. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it, even though I am bothered. I think this is going to price out many people. So, and you're wondering, Scott, what last did you pick up? Well, last I picked up was another JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. This is number 6. I believe there's, I think, 9 total in this. So I really appreciate the idea. After Stone Ocean, we're going to get Steel Ball Run, which was recently announced from Viz Media, which is going to be coming this next summer, which is phenomenal. So a lot of more hardcovers this year. This is everything I got from Viz Media here. Let's go ahead and now move on to ongoing or missing titles from Yen Press. And with that, I only got one, unfortunately, and that is Horimiya Volume 17. It's actually still sealed. I want to open it, but at the same time I don't. But I know I'm going to, as we have the rest of the series. This is now complete. I thought it was complete with 16, and then I thought it was complete when they brought the memories, and now we have a volume 17. So who knows if they're going to do another volume or not of this. And what's nice about this, it actually came with this memorial book as well as a bonus track. So I really appreciate that Yen Press gave us this little bonus track in this, and so thank you so much. That's all we actually got from Yen Press. I know it's a smaller haul. Let's go ahead and now move on to ongoing and missing titles that I got from KODANSHA. So with KODANSHA, we got the last volume of Fire Force in this lovely omnibus edition. You can put all the spines together. It looks very nice. This last one is a 2-in-1, where the other ones were a 3-in-1. This is from the same author that gave us Soul Eater, so it's now complete. I'm excited to read this and check it out. Next, we have another series that is complete and done, which I'm very sad, and that is Blood on the Tracks Volume 17. Wow. Highly recommend checking this one out. It is very dark. This is definitely not for kids, but the author just does such a powerful job just with the emotions. This person also gave us Happiness, which I was not a fan of, but then he also has a really good work called Flowers of Evil. Now, this is his best work in my mind, and just made me think the dialogue in this made me feel things almost that I dealt with from trauma growing up as a kid. The artwork is just so powerful as you're flipping through pages. It's not one you want to read right away, but you, like from panel to panel, don't just flip through the pages, but you really want to stare at the pages and just feel the emotion inside. So good. It left me quiet. After I finished reading the entire series, I was like, huh. And I had to really process my thoughts, and going through the whole thing from the beginning to the end, it was just very, very powerful. This was in my top 10 of best series of all time. It's probably moved now in the top 20, easily in the top 30. I'm not in the top 10. It has changed a little bit just from how it ended, and it's nothing against the manga itself. It's still phenomenal. I'm still processing how I'm feeling with it. It did take a turn that I wasn't expecting, but it wasn't a bad turn. It just might not have been the best for me. So I know I'm ranting a lot on that. Let's go ahead and talk about the last thing I got from KODANSHA, and this is probably going to be my #1 news series of the year, and that is The Medal. This is beautiful. Highly recommend checking out. Almost for any age. This is about a girl who has a dream to be an ice skater. You end up learning that, you know, even though she has this dream, she wants to go to the Olympics. They're telling her that you're too old for it. You should have started years ago. It's too expensive. Why should anyone spend money on you or invest in you? And it's just beautiful seeing her as she wants to chase this dream. She has a coach that didn't make it to the Olympics, and then other people are saying, well, why would you even have a coach that's not as good? So Very, very powerful, just gripping of your heart. Just the idea of following your passion, following your dreams. Don't let anyone else tell you no. All the good feels. Reminds me a little bit of Blue Period, where there's just so much beauty in chasing your dream. And this one, this grips you at the heart. Highly recommend. You've got to check out The Medalist. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about ongoing or missing titles that I received from smaller publishers. The first being volume 14 of Mob Psycho 100. The anime was phenomenal. This is from the same author that gave us One Punch Man. Now, if you're looking for a funny comedy series with some action in it, this is one you're going to want to check out. And it follows very closely to the anime itself. So you've seen all the seasons of the anime, you might be like, do I even want to collect this? But to me, I did want to continue collecting. I think there's 15 or 16 total in the whole thing. So Dark Horse, we're almost done with this. So I just felt like, because the anime is so good, I wanted to support the author and continue getting the series itself. What else did we pick up? Well, since you're asking, I got this lovely hardcover Soul Eater number 16. We're almost complete. There's going to be one left, and I will have all Soul Eater. I believe it's going to be this December, the last one comes out. There's also Soul Eater or not, but I'm going to skip that one. But Soul Eater, so excited to have this whole thing complete, with Fire Force complete, soon to be Soul Eater. This is one I want to grab right away, and this is a perfect edition. If you're thinking between the Yen Press edition, the regular, versus Square Enix Perfect Edition, I highly recommend the Perfect Edition. It just looks so beautiful, feels good in your hands, and they've just done such a great job. High quality, the pages are nice and thick too. Absolutely gorgeous, highly recommend. And last from ongoing or new missing series, I'm actually a little surprised on this because we got the first volume last month. Dark Horse usually is known for delays, but this one they did not, and I was actually a little shocked that it actually happened, but it did, and that is none other than the Trigun Deluxe. This is number 1 of the Maximum. Technically it's the second deluxe one, and I'm like, wow, so good. If you haven't checked out, give it a chance, see my review of the first deluxe. Highly recommend. It's so cool seeing how it's different from the anime itself, as I grew up on the anime when I was in high school. So there's a lot of nostalgia factor here, but I'm enjoying the ride itself as you're seeing Vash the Stampede and then Wolfwood and then going together on this journey. The idea of what it means to save life. Very, very good. This takes place 2 years after the other volume. Wow. If you are a collector, I think for this holiday season, this is a great item for people who you're looking to get something special under that tree for someone else, or maybe for yourself. I'd highly recommend checking out the new Trigun. And again, if you check out my video, you can see my beautiful review of this great new edition from Dark Horse. All right, now let's go and check out new to me or no. All right, now if you stuck to the end, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and talk about some new stuff which we got from Viz Media. The first is the lovely 3-in-1 new edition of Red River. Wow, I never read Red River before, and it was on my list of just out of print series I'd love to someday see and read. But I knew it would just be next to impossible, and then Viz Media surprised us all by announcing we're going to reprint this in a lovely 3-in-1. And this was really, really good. It's an old school isekai series. If you know me, I do like isekai series. This girl gets transported almost into another world, but it's she gets transported to the past, and then it's around the Turkish region, and then she's trying to survive. There's a little magic involved, and very, very good. I can't believe this wasn't reprinted yet. I thoroughly enjoyed this first volume of this shoujo series. Now, it is going to be, it says older teen, I'd say 16 plus. I probably agree with that with some of the things inside the manga itself, but so good. I'm, again, thoroughly surprised. I read this faster than I thought I would. I could not put it down. Read all three of these lovely, 3-in-1, read all 3 just very, very quickly. Beautiful manga. You've got to check it out if you're not already. And it is on the Viz app, which I think it's $2 or $3 a month. That might be a way to check it out if you're on the fence, but do not miss out on this. For those who want Basara to be reprinted or other shoujo josei series, I think we need to go ahead and prove to Viz Media, hey, I'm willing to put the money into it. So I'm buying this. I'm going to collect the series. I'm thoroughly enjoying the ride so far. This is at least the first 3 volumes. Phenomenal. So good. I'm just like, oh, I cannot wait to find out what's going to happen next. Next I got from Viz Media is a new series. I've heard just so many good things. Definitely not for kids. You'll find out in the first couple of pages, but that is called Trillion Game. Now in this series we follow this guy and his lovely partner here in the back is they're trying to become a $1 trillion company with the belief that with all the money in the world, I could do anything I want, and the money is the only thing that we need, and with that, we want to go and even buy out another company. So you're following their journey as how they become the richest people in Japan or even the world, and what does it look like to have $1 trillion? So there's a lot of funniness to us. I very much enjoyed a lot of the story, even though it's definitely, again, not for kids whatsoever. I think this is going to be in a lot of people's top 10s for the year of new series that come out. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll go ahead and get the 2nd volume. Looking forward to continuing to find out what happens next. And I get many laugh out moments I was not expecting. And last from Viz Media actually brought out a manhwa in color, which is the Grim Reaper. Now this series follows a girl who dies, and then she has the option, instead of just going to one of the circles of hell, of becoming the Grim Reaper, and she just has to execute 1 person a day. Doesn't exactly want to do that, but also doesn't want to go into a deeper layer of hell and suffer, so she decides to become the next Grim Reaper. Pages are in color, which I appreciate as well. Definitely an interesting artwork. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to get at least the 2nd volume, so it didn't wow me like, oh, this is the next great thing. Not like some of the Eyes Press lines where I just immediately want to read the 2nd one. But I do want to give at least a couple more volumes, so I thought it was good. Not great, but it was good. I'm looking forward to finding out what's more happens with this type of story. And last I got something that not exactly from Viz Media is a manga, but based off a manga, and that was an art book. Now, Crunchyroll had it where they had a little price issue with this where it was ended up pricing it for only $8, and I thought it was going to get canceled, but it didn't, and it showed up, and I gotta say, this is gigantic. This is the JoJo Go illustrations here, and wow, this is, I mean, look at my face is small, but this is gigantic. So I was just absolutely shocked here, but man, the artwork in this is absolutely incredible. They did a great job. Now, I'd seen the Japanese edition before, and so I was surprised we actually got the same size. I mean, this is huge. I don't have a place on my shelf that this is going to fit. I mean, this is like a coffee table book. I mean, this is to have a conversation with people as they come over. There's something to pick up and read and check out. Again, I was just like, wow. So I really appreciate the artwork. If you're a fan of JoJo's, I think you can get a discount for this for like 24 bucks. So I'm surprised for what you get for 20 bucks. I think that's still a great deal on this. So that's the JoJo Go illustration. So I was like, wow. Again, this is making a statement in your collection. If you like JoJo Bizarre Adventures, I think you'll probably pick this up anyways, but as a great coffee table book, a conversation starter, don't mind you, this might be something you want to pick up. So with that is everything I end up picking up. Let's just share a bit of final thoughts. Some of you may be wondering hey, you usually had tons, the last couple months I've had tons from new to me from Yen Press. This past month I did not get anything from Yen Press. Now there might be a couple reasons with that. It might be being skipped a month. I do know that there's other people who got like the Toilet Bound box set too, so I wonder if their marketing department, maybe they have a limit on how much they can give to people. I mean, our channel, I feel, is more on that low on the totem pole for compared channels that are just so much further ahead just with subscribers and views. So I do know that they have to make wise decisions on who they send things to. It could be that maybe they've seen some of our videos and I'm just not who they feel the target audience for someone that should be sharing. So I did read everything they sent me. I'm beyond grateful for everything that Yen Press has sent me so far. I hope that they would give me another opportunity, but it's potentially not. I knew with one of my video hauls where I shared one of the books that I knew it would not be favorable as I recommend. I didn't think this was good for anyone. So it's possible even with that, they're like, I don't know if we want them necessarily representing, but I just wanted to give honest feedback. And I know some of you even share it, and it really means a lot to me when you reach out and say, hey Scott, due to your review or some things you recommended from Yen Press, I went and I picked those up. And I know Yen Press knows that as well. So if Yen Press chooses to watch this, I just want to say a special thank you for your generosity. Thank you for all the manga you did give. And it is okay, no feelings are hurt if we don't get anything else, but if we do get something, hey, that's cool too, and I'd love to be able to share it with the channel. So that's all I picked up. I'd love to know in the comments below from you, what did you pick up this past month? If you're wondering what's the most favorite thing I got, is probably that Medalist Volume 4. That was probably the best thing, followed by Red River. Thoroughly enjoyed those from everything that I got and I read. So with that said, if you'd like to see more content like this, you've not done so already, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That helps others know about this community that we have created together. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I got some really cool things coming up that are coming down the pipeline that I'm excited to share with you within the next couple of weeks. One is we're going to do a top 30, seeing my top 30 through 20, 20 through 10, and then 10 through 1 since it's a new year. I did this last year around this time. And then, you know, I realized it's been over an entire year since I've showed my entire collection. So we'll do a collection video. Hopefully it won't be too bad. As you see here, things are just overflowing, so it's not as clean and pretty as I'd like it to be, but we'll go ahead and we'll do that. We have a holiday shopping guide for those who are wondering what to pick up during the holidays, and so much more. So, hey, thank you so much. You've stuck to this end. I really appreciate you. See you next time.